Well, gang, I wasn't going to make this video, and honestly, it's a hard video to put together. Why is that? Well, this is the trip that got me kicked out of a local Facebook group that I belong to. Why? Because I was asked to take charge of this trip to save the trip. Now, I'm not going to slander the individual or even name the individual that kicked me out. But for those that were on this trip and wonder where we went, Sean and Don, I'll post our new Facebook group here. I'll tell a little bit of that story at the end. But I do want to give you something to see, some of the sights that we saw on this trip, because it wasn't a bus totally, but we definitely did see a lot of things, and you deserve to see that. And if you were promised professional photography, I'm sorry, that message never came to me. And if it had, I would have really staged a lot of things for us. That said, let's see what we did see, and then we'll share a little bit at the end. For now, gang, let's get after this. Well, good morning, everyone. Sean and Dawn here.
Good morning. I'm driving.
She's driving. So Dawn and I are on a sprinter meetup around the Olympic Peninsula right now. So we are just taking off. We're heading to Ocean Shores right now. We got a big caravan of vans in front and a big caravan of vans in the back. We're gonna we're gonna circumnavigate the Olympic Peninsula. So we're making our way up day one up to La Push area. We're gonna do a little beach driving. We're gonna go to the Clearwater. We're gonna go to Ruby Beach, pass through the town of Forks. We'll show you all that fun stuff. We got a great group of people with us. We had a fun night last night, except for Dawn, who had vertigo.
I'm better.
She's better now, though. She's back. But that's another reason why she's driving, too. Plus, I get to fly the drone. But more to come. It's going to be a fun weekend for us, and we're going to make some memories with some great people.
We're making friends.
We're making friends. The goal of this trip was to navigate the most popular areas of the Olympic Peninsula, driving from Ocean Shores to Port Angeles. You can imagine navigating over 20 vans on the Olympic Peninsula is challenging, especially if your first official meet spot is at Ocean Shores. We did our best to stay together, but if you were on the trip, you know how that went. After several stops to regroup, we finally made it to Pacific Beach, and what a day to be on the beach. After leaving the Pacific, we made ourselves a bit further north to visit one of our favorite river spots for lunch. We didn't film much after leaving the river. This is when our trip started to unravel for the attendees. Oh, and I should mention, we all paid for this trip. Dawn and I paid over $800 to go on this trip. More about that at the end. After what I'm guessing is the most unique camping spot most of these individuals stayed at near Mora, Dawn and I led the group to one of our favorite places to go, Salt Creek Recreational Campground. After some time for everyone to explore Salt Creek, Dawn navigated all the vans to our next destination for a van drive through our hometown of Port Angeles. And if you're wondering how we got my truck, Dawn and I ran home while everyone was relaxing at Salt Creek so we could have a more organized trip through Port Angeles. Did I mention we paid $800 to go on this trip?
8555.
Dawn guided everyone to our next destination for the night. I think everyone would agree that this was a much better night for all. We had a nice meal, shared our stories with one another. The next day I was asked to lead some people through a workout before everyone went home. As I've been putting this video together, I've asked myself, how do I feel about this trip and the individual who kicked us out of the local Facebook group? Sadly, the serpent lived within us all. I'm sad that this serpent has guided this man to this action. Hopefully one day he will learn to be better to all those around him. After all, I feel we all want to live in a world of love and support for each other. For anyone on this trip, it was a pleasure to meet you all. If you are up for some free adventures together, join our group. Oh, in case you're wondering why we started a new group, people ask that we create a Facebook group in the PNW open to all van owners, where you don't feel like you have to pay to go out and explore together. Unfortunately, right or wrong, that is how many felt about the other group. Until next time, guys, I hope we see you on the trails.